things that really got me convinced about this budgeting thing was I had to actually see that it worked. I got so frustrated, and one of the things that was challenge with me was when I went from making $40,000 to $60,000 in a job promotion. I left the company and had a great opportunity to move into leadership. Suffice to say, this was my wake-up call because I had been saving on that $30,000, but now my life had changed. My bills had changed. Didn't have a roommate no more. I was in a new city, so I was trying to figure out how am I going to actually save money now. And everybody knows in the personal financial world, or just general knowledge that, hey, the more you make, the more it just seems to disappear. And I didn't want to let that happen to myself. So what I did was I sat in my office. I remember to this day, probably about my second or third check in, and I'm the job. And I'm sitting there writing down my bills, and I saw that after I took out spending money for myself, I still had $800 left over. Well, then my next question was, how do I find, or where is that $800 in a month? Because I'm like, there is no check where I'm just seeing $800. So I had to look tenaciously at when my bills were due. And I looked at when I was paying what bills. And from there, I was able to see that I'm paying about $150 out of one check. And then the second check, I was able to kind of save the bulk of that money, about $650. That gets you to the $800. The point was I didn't know when to pull out the money, so I didn't know how to actually save the money. So once I figured out that, I'm like, okay, it's $150 on the first check, $650 on the second. If this budget thing is true, I should be able to go take out $150 in cash when I get paid, put that in the drawer, and the second time I get paid, take $650 out. And if I do both of those, I'm able to actually save $800 in a month. And if it's correct, I can pay my bills and nothing will have overdrafted. It wouldn't be anything out of line. And you know what? After 30 days, I figured out, hey, this is true. The same concept I use once I start to grow my income after that. See, I had already figured out what was my base style of living, so I never allowed my checking account to go below what I was used to seeing at that $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, and I put all my raises into different accounts or different investment, but it doesn't come to my main account. I do this so that I'm able to maximize the dollar because I already know what I'm able to live off of. That piece hasn't changed. That's how I control my lifestyle. I want you to do the same. I want you to go practice this and let me know in the comments how it works for you. Hi, my name is Jonathan. I want to help you build wealth. Follow me for more.